All right, it's another video from the Weiss Schwarz Club. You got Myth, you got Kaichou again.
Hey, what's up?
So this is going to be game two of the show match between the 8 choice slime and the gate standby RWBY. If you haven't watched game one, be sure to go check that one out. I'd say that was a bit of an interesting game. What do you think, Kaichou?
Yeah, that one was a little unfortunate for both players. A few misplays here and there. Hopefully, game two they got rid of the best of three first game jitters, so they able to make more correct decision or not correct, but like I guess uh better decisions.
A little
For
bit more cognizant of the game type of
yeah, looking at the game
decisions.
instead of like the decision in a vacuum kind of thing. Basically, what we want to see from Stein player things to keep in mind is where the placements the 3-2 rumors are, because sometimes you trigger choice and you think it's obvious, it's the stock one, but sometimes you can stock one and it's gone forever if you can't pay it out by level 3. For the Ruby player, you want to keep in mind for the level 3 Neapolitan, if you have the climax and waiting, that's a pretty obvious one, and spawn targets are really important for that 3-2. You basically want to spawn if you're not gonna combo, or even if you are gonna combo, right, you want to make sure you spawn targets that they might need later, such as any healers, any 3-2, for example, 3-2 Rimuru as an ideal card, uh, or like any level one if you decide on like siding the last lane.
All right, but let's just get right into it. Starting off with the mulligan. So, even though we didn't talk too much about Mulligan during game one because we were kind of setting the stage for the best of three, what are some of the main mulligans that you're looking for? More so on the Ruby side, because on the slime side it's fairly simple. You're looking for like the Milim Chaser. You're looking for a copy or two of Ramorous maybe in your hand. I obviously the level one choice combo, but like, what are some of the things that you're actually looking for when it comes to Ruby's like opening games?
I think it's pretty similar for Ruby. You try to mulligan for the runner, any blessing zero, so Exile's fine. Any like cards, standby targets, that's obviously, but he triggered a standby first attack. It's kind of unfortunate, but if playing for standby, you don't hope to trigger a standby, but sometimes you can just mull a copy uh, of your 2-2 so you can have it.
Right.
For the 1-0 combo though, the card attacks, it gains power and attacks, so you can also mull that, which is a possibility if you standby it out.
Okay, so like one little option that you could do if you're playing the gate standby is you can technically get rid of your level one combo because you can standby it out, and then you could potentially capitalize on the opening zero play essentially.
Yeah, so we see the submarine here from the Slime player. Nice little tech. Kills the runner for free. But he didn't open Milim Chase, so I guess that balances out.
It's going to be a bit of a slower game, I imagine, comparatively, where we're seeing this like opening with uh, only one character swings, and then there's probably not going to be too many crazy uh, interactions until like unless Ruby starts opening up more runners or eggs, I imagine, which is
Yeah.
what this brainstormer could lead into.
So he plays the climax off, lets you top check, so he can get a 5 card brainstorm. So he's on top screens as a climax. Brainstorms here. Gets a search one, pitch one. At this point, you can either choose to get a blessing zero again, or a combo piece if you don't already have one. Ideally, you want to swing two here because we all know level one stock is a kind of a tragedy for some decks.
Would you say Ruby, this gate standby, kind of falls into that trap a little bit, or do you think it's maybe like if you play other variations of not necessarily gate standby, but it's like other tech options in the deck that could come into play?
So Ruby player here doesn't play Reiki, so the stock doesn't actually matter. So having one stock is probably okay in this case. But
Okay,
for Slime, they do play Reiki, so it's a little hard.
so like the main thing is that while neither side wants to end up with level 1 stock. It's kind of like these aren't particularly punished, I imagine, because of the way that they play it out, or the way that their deck ratios kind of play out. Oh, that's a 3.
Yeah, takes 3 here. Level 1 stock for slime. Not what you want to see, because then you have to choose between Ricky or Ramrus or Brainstorm.
Yep.
And we all know 4 more is a real condition.
Yeah. So then.
So for 1.
Okay, but you do get both yellow and blue, which kind of help you have a better idea of what to set up around, like maybe a potion maker just to start maybe scaling up. It's always nice.
Yeah, cost of 1-0 here, which means he probably has enough playables. Where he has a bunch of zeros in hand.
So there's a Rimuru in his waiting room, so he could, if he does have the potion maker option, he can technically um, stick that in later on. Looks like that is
Which
what
we
he's
see him
going
do.
for. Okay, so that's one of his slots. Just figuring out.
Yeah, and since he did play a slow level 0 game, and that he had more cards to play for his level 1, which is nice.
Hmm. This is something that we did technically talk about in game 1, but kind of the like who can take it slow, who needs to take it fast type of situation. We did. You did bring up that Slime does have that luxury of being able to play it a little slower compared to RWBY, but that's also
Yes,
because
it's
RWBY uh, has a finite amount of time before the Minami can no longer get reverses in certain
yeah. Oh,
matchups.
Ricky's the climax. Unfortunate.
Oof.
Yeah, so here, you can probably take a jump turn, play a clean cut, and then clean cut back row. Uh, so he's gonna get a Milim here, assuming, which assumes that he already has the clean cut. So he'll clean cut a Ricky, which leaves like 1 reverse and a chaser. Still force the opponent to get 3 reverses or 3 cards. You get double combo, or it just changes. Let's see what he grabs off the Ricky here. Okay, so
Grabbing
that's Brainstorm.
brainstorm.
Probably just setting us back row for now. Or he could just swing with the Brainstorm and then clean cut it back.
The clean cut is 2K into the 2Ks that are on the board, I believe. You're right.
Yeah,
So
so he could deny a second reverse also. Okay,
then
which he
there's that,
does.
and then Xion. So then clean cut Xion just so that way you have it ready for next turn, the next combo turn.
Yep, pretty standard turn when you get pushed this early. The one problem is, does he slam the climax? If he doesn't, an opponent still stays at 0, and then they slam a climax, you're gonna hit 2 and they're at 0. It's gonna be really bad for the slime player here.
Even then, if even if they hit level 1, then the retaliation can still be
Oh, it
pretty
cancels.
fierce. Okay.
So he triggers a 30 Rimuru. So remember that's at the bottom of his stock. So let's see if he remembers to pay that out.
If he gets there, right? Oh, that's a
Yep.
double
Oh, the
cancel.
double cancel. Okay, so Ruby's still gonna be a level 0. Oh,
That's a
that's a second
third.
Rimuru.
That's a second.
Okay, takes 2 here. So this is like, can either be really bad or really good for the Ruby player. So he sees a 0 and he sees the runner. Okay, it's fine. He's gonna have playables to swing. Uh, he forgets to ditch, but he will in a minute here.
Ideally,
Yeah,
yep.
a little bit of a
Timing
misstep here.
shenanigans. Yep.
Yeah, so they're open slots for slime player. So which means the Ruby runner is definitely gonna kill the Ricky if he has any more car swing with. Slime might get hit to level 2 here, which is not ideal.
Yeah, like I think one of the key things about where Ruby's at is that because you have cards like the James Ironwood, like the Mill Runner, you do have the luxury of just adding and reevaluating what your hand is looking like.
Yeah, Ironwood is a really good card. Doesn't deserve to be an R, but we're happy it is. Being able to double hand filter is pretty nice. It has the Rico salvage effect, but it also has the draw part where you can ditch a character to draw. So either you can top check first and see what you want to draw, or draw first and then top check for your trigger. And it does get 3 swings here, which is ideal. Okay, Slime Player
Free
cancels,
cancel.
which is pretty good.
One interesting thing is that he kept the James Ironwood in front of the Ricky. Do you think it's just to crash it in, or do you think this is like
I think that might have been a misplay or like miscalculation because he definitely could kill it, and making Ruby a runner doesn't matter against the slime deck, right? Because they don't care about reverses.
yeah?
So he sides there, which means he also forgot to either pump power with a brainstorm or he didn't want to tie it. So
Huh?
probably just a misplay on the Ruby player here.
The main reason why it is kind of a peculiar misplay to make is because of the four or more condition on Xion. So, like,
Yeah,
kind of letting an opponent get an extra character means one less card that they have to think about throwing down. But it does look like he's gonna have to put himself to level 2.
yep. Yeah, so for slime, a +1 on the board can actually mean a +2 because that means their Xion combo goes off, right? So they can actually get another card because of that +1.
Yep.
And if the
Um,
+1 can kill the opponent's card, that's like a +2. So it's like +3, I guess. It's pretty good.
it just kind of like adds infinitely more value as the game kind of shapes up, right? Where now this
Yeah.
double combo and the brainstormer that we did see him add with the Ricky can come down.
Yeah. For 4 more conditions, it's more for this deck. Like if you're playing like a vanilla deck that didn't require 4 more, the +1 didn't matter. But yeah, for this one, it's just even more potent. So there are 3 Rimurus. So he pays 1 out.
Just to kind of go through his deck a little bit, maybe add a few more options to the pool of cards he can add.
Yeah,
Uh,
also doesn't want to put too much at the bottom there, or else we won't be able to pay it out.
yep. I imagine that he'll most likely salvage that Rimuru out with one of these two combos, so
Yeah, grab one, and maybe grab like a Rammus or something for next turn.
just kind of help set him up for kind of that chain. Uh, so one thing is that it looks like he didn't. He was deciding where to attack between the
Yeah, that's just
two.
depending on how many climax your opponent has left, and whether they want the Rize first or second.
Yep.
So we did see that. I think he milled the climax there off the mill runner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so remember my philosophy of you never mill the runner.
I mean,
uh,
you only do it if you believe in the slot machine, right? But then.
yeah, or you're clean, right? 100% always mill. So we can see the snowball here.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
so he
there's another
cancels.
cancel.
So that's 2 climaxes in at least 4 cards. See how many more he
Grabbing the
has.
rammers, like you said.
Just with 2.
Okay.
Okay.
And then
Rizes.
adding what looks like the free fresh counter. Oh
No,
no,
he just
this.
ditches. He didn't add anything, but then he'll add later.
Uh,
A little bit of mistiming, but yeah. He decided to -1, but
then he made it a 0.
yeah.
Okay, so
Because he draws a door there, so there's 3 in 8, 9, 10, I believe.
yeah,
3 and 10? That's definitely not an angle to mill.
it was definitely a bit of just like him going for high odds, maybe
Yeah,
confidence.
it could also be an autopilot mill, right? Sometimes people just automatically mill with mill runner.
But like, it's one thing to automatically mill if you're like, say, playing more for the slot machine type of uh aspect of it. and then it's another thing to just autopilot never waste an effect, right? In my opinion.
Yeah. So theoretically, I think, in terms of like where the place and the climax is, if he mode clean, maybe he would have canceled, but that's probably a different deck state.
Yep. So that being said, this is a pretty good board state if you're looking at it from the RWBY side of things, where you
Yeah,
see
you
three
can just,
potential targets to just like go ham and like.
yep. I think he ideally refresh with 7 or 6. Yeah, your enemies are basically gonna become maybe check 1, check 2. You don't want to really mill too much. Okay. So he doesn't have any more playables, forcing him to move the Brainstormer. He
Hmm.
also doesn't have waiting room, so if he treats a standby or door here, it would be pretty bad. So first attack would be Minami here, so you can get the waiting room. Trade is clean.
So that's starting with a 3.
Slime eats it. Ooh. Mills climax. You want to mill one more in case. Yep.
Adding RWBY combo. Hmm.
How much is to have it? Power there. I would swing with Blake or you here, so you can manage your mills.
Okay,
Get
good
some 3.
cancel.
Nice cancel. Okay, he stops at 2 here.
Hmm.
Trades for clean. Okay. I mean, I guess it worked out, but
Ooh.
okay. Oh, slime player just had 1 in like 9.
Yep.
A little unfortunate there. So he hits level 3 here, I believe.
Yep. He
Which is
does.
definitely now it's going to be. It's kind of the similar to the first game.
I imagine that you probably take a similar line where you're probably gonna play this one relatively slow. You're gonna try and do like a clock
I'll
heal.
refresh climax. Yep. So we know all 4 removes. There's one waiting to in stock, one in hand. Can clock, swing chumps, or maybe just swing 3 chumps. He has rammers, so maybe rammers and play like another card and just swing.
Yep.
You don't really have to clock. You don't need to. Just remember that removes in first stock and third stock.
We'll see where it goes, I believe. Because I don't think that you'll see. You're anticipating to kill from this point in the game, so you probably just try and do that play it slow type of mentality. But
Yeah, but I'm sure you've seen people die from 1-4, right?
it like sounds like a lot of certain games that we've seen in our time, Kaichou. Sometimes you
Pocket of 7.
just blood in the water, right?
Yeah, it's just dead. Okay, so he places it, taps, he gets marker here.
I wouldn't imagine
Marker
you'd
Rimuru
want to
here
put the
is
third
probably fine.
Rimuru, would you? Like,
Yeah, it's probably fine here. At this point, the marker's gonna go to stock anyways. Uh, but he's just deciding whether he's gonna be able to pay it out next turn. Because if you don't think you're gonna pay it out, you would just put another card, and then you can pay to heal next turn if we need to. So he doesn't put okay.
okay. Bring up the
So he moves
Brainstormer,
Brainstormer.
whip out the Ramorous.
Okay, so just gonna be a chump turn, lose Brainstormer. Hopefully he can get his opponent to level 2.
Bring out
Get some good
the
cancels.
combo.
Where's the
Healer.
heal in the back? Okay, so he pays out some stock, which is fine.
Just kind of get himself into that, like, simple simple play mentality where you just swing 3 pass here.
Yep, seems like he's gonna play combo here.
And then, what are you thinking of grabbing off of that combo? Would you just grab the level 3 and then you know that it's at least in your hand at that point? Or.
Yeah, I think grabbing level 3 here is fine. An option you could grab is like Rammers. You're trying to go for the double chump turn, but level 3 is just super safe here.
Yep, so then a couple
Cancels.
of just simple swings here.
Another 3.
That's another
Okay, double
cancel.
cancel, which we expected. Miss good deck stay over here. 2? Take this 2.
Okay.
Takes the 2. Okay. So he has no board. His deck is like halfway through. Maybe he can read not clock here. Maybe refresh, or he just clock here. Depending on his hand size. I think he had like 5 cards in hand, so clocking here is probably fine. He also doesn't have a brainstorm anymore, so maybe milling is a little hard.
Oh, yep. And then remember that the level 1 combo did go to memory, so then
Yeah.
at this point,
Runner.
you're just trying to readjust for the double comp or the double cancel by just going through as many cards where you can.
See if he's gonna loop combo again here.
If you loop combo a second time, is it just like? Are you just hoping for standby triggers? I imagine here, just so that way you could start establishing.
Semi is fine, or he's just when they passed it. Oh wait, no. Yeah. So semi is fine. Oh, he takes the 3 though.
Oh, this is gonna get
Not what you want
real
to see.
scary.
If he dies here, it's just
Okay,
unfortunate, but
cancel. Thankfully.
okay.
3-5, huh?
Ooh, little rough. So
Mm,
your deck is technically compressed, right? As a slime player, there is a risk to take here where you just like heal down a little bit and then like swing again, but don't try to push your opponent to 3 and then hope you triple cancel the next turn or something.
do you think this
Which is
is?
like a super risk.
Do you think this is like a Milim stock swap type of angle, or are you like thinking about just kind of a throw everything at the opponent and see what happens type of turn? Like because there's very little chance that you're gonna survive to the next turn, even if you do heal down, right? You'll end up in the mid 3, and all it takes is like one or two extra swing or one or two swings to just end the game, right? So
Yes, I think opponent is how many are they out? They mill 2 double cancel. There's like 5 outs. There's like 2 or 3 in the deck, right? So it looks like slime player is just gonna swing 3 pass here.
kind of
Uh,
just kind of the taking the L type of potentially, or
yeah. So we see in the slime list they don't play counters, right? So an option is you play a slime, a 3/2 remove in the backwards just to heal. Hopefully
potion
opponent
maker.
doesn't go to 3. Opponent cannot answer it unless their deck refreshes and they play Blake early play. So it just depends on where the deck state is and if they even have the Blake early play, which I think
There
I don't
should be
think
at
they
least
grabbed it.
one, right?
Okay, so it looks like he's just gonna go all in here.
Do you not just go big or go home? And if you okay, let's see.
Choice. So we know he has 1 in hand. He has about 6 stock. Grab machine early play heal. Oh,
Just
okay.
adding some hand.
Cancels. Pays. He doesn't pay it out because he has the digital one from hand. Yep.
Bring it out.
I guess doing the combo is an efficient way to heal because you like pay 3 to heal, get an extra swing.
Getting these choice climaxes though are definitely not doing as much justice as you'd
Yeah,
want them
because we know
to.
he's compressed though, because he ate everything, right? So
Right.
there should be a lot of climax in his deck. If he proceeds to swing 3, then to do combo, he would trigger to 1 and swing 2 clean, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, so he pays out the first one. I guess he's trying to reset his deck, get the healage, get the memory going.
Yep.
Opponent cancels the second one too.
All right,
So we
so
can't pay out the
third one or the
third one
final
because
one.
he's gonna. Yeah, so he's down one. Which was a play where you can just pay to heal. Cancels again. Nope. Wait.
Oh,
Oh, I
he is
couldn't tell
able
from his
to.
stock there, so I guess he did have it.
Yeah. So then he'll
Okay.
just mill 2, get this final heal out, and then he'll just swing all 3, and then maybe just go for the full 7 at this point. Go big and see what you can do.
Another option you can do is you can just swing 3 there, save 3 stock for next turn.
Mm.
Because 2-0, your opponent's not gonna be too much. And then you won't have stock for next turn to play. So he checks here. It's the clean trigger. Okay, they're both clean. 2.
My guess is just he wants to put the 0 in the stock since it's not doing anything more for him. So
Yeah, so then he's probably gonna. Wait, isn't that the egg in the middle? That looks like the foil egg. Oh wait, because the yeah, so he's gonna probably clean cut the 3-2 back, maybe save it for next turn.
okay. So then he would just swing with the Rimuru, but not do combo, just so that way he can maybe pull like one final trick out of his hat.
Yeah, because if this 2 sticks, it'd be a 3, 2, 3, so then another 3 for 6, then another 2, maybe 3. It'll be a 3-1. So he doesn't kill if everything sticks here. So you try to play for next turn.
All right.
Which is a little hard because double RWBY is lethal.
Yep.
But the good thing is, if you have no waiting room, they can't neo you.
True.
Yeah.
And then looks like he'll
Oh, he
just
clean cuts that.
yeah. So it looks like he was just gonna go for the go big or go home play in this case.
Which is a little sus because. Huh? Let's see what he decides to do here.
Another 3.
3. Okay, he
Okay.
takes the 3.
My guess is that at this point he's just going for like maximum damage where he's not thinking of. I wouldn't say he's not thinking of winning the game because obviously you don't you play to win in every situation, but it's like he just wants to like force the situation, you know.
Yeah, so we see him play for the next turn. As expected. There are 2 targets that clock kicked, so those cards are basically gone if the replayer has the standby. I'm guessing he didn't want to clean cut the 3-2 because maybe he values the top check from the climax swap more, or he doesn't believe he's gonna draw another choice.
All
So
right.
he has the standby guaranteed,
Yep.
and there's nothing to spawn, so there's no need. He pitched for fun. Oh,
He's like realizing,
yeah,
and then this is where you just.
yeah, because now Rimuru is gonna go to clock, and it's
Ugh.
basically you don't get an extra attack from that.
Yep.
So double Ruby here. Yep, do it. So they're both lethal, and the 3 swing in the open lane is also going to be lethal. So you have 4 lethals. Or 3 lethals, I guess.
Put the Weiss in the back so that you have a little bit of assurance, but he just
Yep,
takes
and
the
he
3.
just eats the 3.
Yep.
Pretty short game we have compared to the first one.
I imagine that
Uh,
it was a lot of just like learning effects during game 1, a little bit of thinking, trying to get those first game jitters, and then here in the
you know, the
second
match.
game, we did get to see both of them go for technically the full extent of what they could, both decks were capable of doing.
Yeah, unfortunately, Slime was always behind that game. The slow level 1 and 2 level 1 stock, as I said. It hurt Slime more, and they were just put in that position, so they were kind of unfavored from the start.
But I think that's probably just more attributed to kind of what happened in the early game, considering that RWBY did get 2 turns of double cancels, and you just kind of snowball out of up from there. So there wasn't too much
Yeah,
that.
it was kind of opening diff, basically. RWBY open runner, and Slime didn't open chaser, so
Yeah,
didn't really do much. Even though the runner got an answer with the submarine, they got a second one.
yeah, with the brainstorm. So there wasn't very much that you could really do if you get the second round of opening zeros, right?
Yeah,
So,
which is kind of what we talked about, how RWBY is a more consistent deck, right? You have to bank on opening the chaser for Slime, but RWBY is able to use their resources to open or to like grab those pieces they need because their level 1 game doesn't require full board, so you don't have to commit as many resources to having 4 more.
yep. So, like, I guess that's another. Like, I guess the best way to think of it is that game one was kind of more about seeing, not really blunders, but more like just those first game misplays of not knowing 100% of everything for the end game. And then here in game two, we kind of saw what the opening, like the early game, kind of can look like in a good bad scenario for both sides. So this is very like what going into game three, right? What are some of the things that you're gonna try and adjust for? Because now both sides have seen like what a good early game for both sides look like, but also what an insane finisher can look like, right? Slime got to do full combo 2 games in a row, and then RWBY just got to perform their finisher on this game. So, what are you kind of looking at if you were going into game three?
Uh, I think you just gotta take note of how you use your blessing zeros for Slime, because I think uh Slime got to 1, and then they Rickied uh for what
The
for 1-0
brainstormer.
brainstorm. Yeah. Depending on if they had the Ricky at level 0 or not, we don't know. Just like using your resources early game to try to get your blessing zeros, as opposed to like using it at 1, right? Because the level 0 decides how you play your level 1. Because if you're losing cards at 0, that means you're level as a slime player.
Oh,
And for
kind of a weird thing that kind of popped up. Assuming that he did have um, the Ricky at level 0, do you think it's ever okay to go ahead and play the Rimuru in order to get that pitch to bounce back the Blake? It doesn't necessarily do much, but it does allow you to open with 2 zeros and then allows you to set up for things. Or do you think that's something where it might have just been uh, not really greedy, but it's like kind of the I'm gonna expect to stay at 0 for 1 extra turn type of situation?
no, I don't think bouncing Blake does much there. If anything, if he had it at 0, I would just Ricky search for Milim. Even at level 1, I think search for Brainstorm doesn't do anything if you're because you're getting an RNG plus, right? You have to guarantee the Brainstorm to hit.
Yep.
And then your brainstorm is not even a search brainstorm or salvage. It's like a check 3. So you have to guarantee that on top of guaranteeing cards you're gonna get off the top 3. So maybe raking for the Milim was a better choice. It might have given him a +0, or +1. And then as we saw that Ruby player canceled, so he wasn't able to deal with the board or like he could have he could have been able to deal with the Milim chaser. So I think raking for brainstorm was just a little too greedy there, and raking for another 0 to swing was probably better. The brainstorm didn't do much right until the turn after, so I don't know if I don't think rigging for a card to play the next turn is correct.
Yep. All right. Well, like we said, this was just game 2, so hopefully we'll get to see the pretty interesting conclusion. Stick around for that. Thanks
Game
for
3 of
watching.
Silver Scrapes, you know?
Silver Scrapes, even in Weiss. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. See you guys.
laters.